She smiled in every photo. Blonde hair, warm eyes, a loving mother, her husband, the perfect dad, and their baby, the center of their world. They were the family everyone envied, until everything unraveled. One day, the house went quiet. Too quiet. A neighbor knocked. No answer. What police found inside would send shockwaves through the entire country. Blood on the crib, a baby, silent, and two bodies lying cold in the living room. This wasn't a robbery. This wasn't an accident. This was a carefully planned horror story, hiding behind the mask of a perfect life. This is the story that gave even hardened detectives nightmares. A tale of love, jealousy, betrayal, and blood. And it all started with one smile too many. Amanda Lee Palmer was the kind of woman people noticed, not because she was loud or flashy, but because she carried peace like a fragrance. A small-town girl from Missouri, she met James at a church picnic when they were just 17. From the start, everyone said they were made for each other. He was funny, charming, the kind of guy who made everyone feel welcome. And Amanda, she was pure heart, thoughtful, patient. The one who remembered birthdays, brought cookies to work, and stayed late just to help a friend pack up. By 21, they were married. By 23, they had their first child, a baby girl named Emma. Friends called them the postcard couple. Their Facebook was filled with smiling pictures, lake trips, baby milestones, anniversary dinners. But behind the pictures, something darker was growing. James had lost his job twice in 2 years. Bills were piling up. Amanda had picked up night shifts at the local diner, working until 2 a.m., then waking at 6 to get Emma ready for daycare. But James didn't adjust well. He drank more, stayed out longer, started coming home angry, then silent, then not at all. Amanda kept smiling through it. She told her friends, "It's just a rough patch. He's just stressed." But stress doesn't explain the bruises. Or why Emma once said, "Daddy yelled so loud the walls shook." The mask of the perfect family was starting to crack. And no one, not even Amanda, was ready for what came next. By the end of that year, Amanda's smile had faded. She stopped posting pictures, stopped going out. The girl who once made everyone feel safe had started living in fear. James was now drinking every night. Loud fights, things thrown across the room, doors slammed so hard they cracked. One night, Amanda showed up at work with a bruise under her eye. When her manager asked what happened, she just said, "I fell. It's nothing." But her voice shook, and she didn't look anyone in the eye. That same week, a neighbor called the police after hearing what they described as screams, like someone was dying. Officers came to the door. James answered, calm as ever. He told them Amanda had burned dinner and overreacted. Amanda appeared behind him, eyes swollen, and whispered, "I'm fine." No charges were filed. Emma, just 3 years old, had started stuttering. At daycare, she drew a picture of a woman crying behind bars. The teacher asked who it was. Emma whispered, "Mommy." Amanda's friends begged her to leave, but she didn't. Maybe it was fear. Maybe it was hope. Or maybe she already knew leaving wouldn't save her. Because when she finally did decide to go, that's when James made his plan. Amanda finally made the call. One Friday afternoon, she spoke to a women's shelter 2 towns over. They had space. They offered her a room, protection, even legal help. Amanda didn't tell anyone, not even her closest friend. But she did quietly begin packing a bag for Emma. Tiny socks, favorite teddy bear, a photo of the 3 of them from the happier days. When she still believed he could change, she had a plan. She would wait until James left for work Monday morning, then disappear before he came back. That weekend, James was unusually calm. He brought flowers, made dinner, even watched cartoons with Emma. Amanda was nervous, but hopeful. Maybe he knew. Maybe this was a last effort to fix things. Or maybe it was the calm before the storm. Sunday night, she tucked Emma in, kissed her forehead, whispered, Tomorrow everything changes. That was the last thing Emma ever heard her mother say. Because in the middle of that night, sometime after 3 a.m., James never left for work. Instead, he stood at the bedroom door, watching Amanda sleep. He had taken her phone, cut the Wi-Fi, hid her car keys. And in the kitchen drawer, he had placed a knife. The next 45 minutes would never be fully understood. But what police found the next morning would haunt them forever. The 911 call came in at 7:42 a.m. It wasn't James. It was a neighbor, a woman out walking her dog who noticed the front door wide open. "Something feels wrong," she told the dispatcher. "The door's open, the lights are on, but no one's answering." Officers arrived at 7:58. What they found inside would stay with them forever. The house was quiet, too quiet. In the living room, Amanda's body was found slumped against the couch. Blood had soaked into the carpet beneath her. Her face was badly bruised, defensive wounds on her hands. There were signs of a struggle, broken glass, overturned furniture, but no signs of forced entry, no robbery, no missing items, just violence, raw and personal. Emma's room was next. At first, officers hoped maybe, just maybe, she had been spared. But when they opened the door, the crib was stained with blood. Emma's favorite teddy bear lay on the floor. She was found wrapped in her baby blanket, tucked in, as if someone had tried to make it look peaceful. She was 3. James was gone. The kitchen showed signs of preparation. A missing knife, a cup of half-finished coffee, and a single note on the counter. It wasn't supposed to be like this. That afternoon, the story exploded. Local news ran the headline, "Mother and child found dead, husband missing." A manhunt began immediately. Airports, bus terminals, every nearby highway exit. James Sellers had vanished, and so had any trace of his conscience. The town was in shock. Candlelight vigils were held outside the Palmer house. People who barely knew Amanda left flowers, teddy bears, and handwritten notes. "You deserved better." Rest in peace, sweet Emma. On social media, the story exploded. A trending hashtag, #find James Sellers. Everyone had the same question. Where did he go? Police released his photo to every news outlet. They searched highways, truck stops, state lines. Tips started pouring in. One person claimed they saw him at a gas station 90 miles away. Another said he was hitchhiking toward the border, but nothing solid. James had vanished like smoke. The FBI got involved. His passport was flagged. Airports watched, but there were no credit card charges, no phone activity, no trace. For weeks, the town lived in fear. What if he comes back? What if he's already watching us? And then, 3 weeks later, a break. A man walking his dog found a small abandoned shack deep in the woods. Inside, an unshaven, dehydrated man lay unconscious on a mattress. In the corner, a rusted knife. A suicide note, half finished. A photo of Amanda and Emma torn in half. It was James. Alive, but barely. James was arrested on the spot. Weak, disoriented, barely able to speak. He didn't resist, didn't ask why, didn't even look up. At the station, his first words were, "I couldn't let her leave me." During interrogation, he spoke in fragments, confusing, rambling, but clear enough. He said Amanda had packed a bag, said she was taking Emma, said he saw her whispering on the phone. "She was gonna run," he said. I just couldn't let her go." He claimed he blacked out, that he didn't remember holding the knife, but detectives didn't believe him. The crime scene told another story, one of control, planning, and intent. Prosecutors charged him with 2 counts of first-degree murder. The trial began 6 months later. The courtroom was packed. Amanda's parents sat in the front row, holding a photo of Emma in her Halloween costume, a tiny pumpkin. James never looked at them. The prosecution laid it out clearly. He cut the Wi-Fi, took Amanda's phone, hid her car keys, and positioned the knife in advance. They called it a domestic execution. The defense tried to argue mental instability, PTSD, alcohol-induced blackout. But the jury wasn't moved. After just 4 hours of deliberation, the verdict was unanimous. Guilty on all counts. Amanda's mother sobbed quietly. Her father just closed his eyes. The judge sentenced James Sellers to 2 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. Amanda and Emma were buried side by side. The town came together in a way no one had seen before. Over 300 people attended their funeral. A playground near their home was renamed Emma's Garden. Every spring, the community plants tulips there, Amanda's favorite. Her story made national headlines, talk shows, podcasts, true crime forums. But for those who knew her, Amanda wasn't just a victim. She was a friend, a mother, a fighter. In her memory, local shelters received record donations. A state senator even introduced a bill, Amanda's Law, that would make it easier for abuse victims to get emergency housing without waiting periods. One of Amanda's co-workers later said, "She always smiled even when she was breaking inside. I just wish she had lived long enough to smile for real again." As for James Sellers, he sits in a maximum security prison, no visitors, no interviews, and no one says his name at the vigils, because this story was never about him. It was about the ones left behind, the lives cut short, and the silence that should have been broken sooner. This was the story of Amanda and Emma, and the home. That never should have become a crime scene.